The LEGO Ninjago movie has had mixed reviews over the years. Many were hostile in the beginning, but grew to be tolerable towards it and saw it as it was strangely meant to be, an alternate universe of Ninjago, with no lasting impact on the separate story that is the show. Right? Except the movie garnered many new fans. Because of this, the writers thought a change was necessary for the show. As to not alienate new viewers too much, they'd implement elements from the movie, like the altered versions of the designs. Many of the original fans were understandably frustrated over this, as was I at the time of the trailer for Season 8. But I've grown to realize that many of us original fans were honestly blinded by nostalgia. Objectively, from an artistic perspective, most of these updated designs have a clear silhouette. But from the same perspective, they also have flaws, such as Nia losing some of her individuality by her hair being changed to ponytail instead of a bob, making Nia the fourth female with a ponytail, and the third with the exact same hairstyle as Pixel and Tox. Objectively, yes, Nia's new hair is better than the old, but I still can't understand why they didn't just pick another design for her hair. And on the topic of the Jung siblings, Kai's new hairstyle reads as dung, instead of a flame, courtesy of his hair color. But all of this, in honesty, I can look past, as do the majority of the fandom. Season 8 of Ninjago is, after all, praised by almost anyone you ask as the pinnacle of Ninjago storytelling, with an engaging and risk-heavy plot that doesn't end in just one season, but spreads out across many, unlike the usual plot does of earlier seasons, which last just that, a season. So why can't I bring myself to rewatch Sons of Garmadon and enjoy it like everyone else does? Remember how I brought up the fact that the writers thought they had to implement elements from the movie to not alienate new fans. The main villain of the LEGO Ninjago movie is Lord Garmadon, but the choice of main villain here causes a problem for the new take on the show, because there, Garmadon is dead. He sacrifices himself to stop Chen's advancing fake Kondrai army as the only one who can put an end to the war. He leaves the mortal realm as a forgiven, yet self-blaming father who believes no matter how hard he tries, nothing he does will make up for the hurt he's caused others. But he leaves with love for his son, because he wants the greatest thing he's ever made, to have a future. While he does not die here, but simply gets chained to the cursed realm, he gets a final beautiful reunion with Lloyd a season later before officially drowning along with the preeminent. This concludes Garmadon's story. But for movie Garmadon, like with all the ninja in the movie, he can be seen as a simplified, strange caricature of his show version at best. Evil for the heck of being evil. He's moderately enjoyable when separated from what he originally stands for, but nevertheless, he is the main villain and the adversary for Lloyd to face, a fight between father and son. He loses a large part of what made Garmadon such a great character in the show, because there, no matter what side Garmadon was on, Lloyd held the strongest impact on his father's heart. No matter what, he would do anything to protect his son and refuses to fight him, even when the prophecy points towards Garmadon being the Lord of Evil that his son, now dubbed the Green Ninja, the vanquisher of darkness, shall destroy. But just like his father, Lloyd cannot bring himself to harm his own family. By the time Season 8 rolls around, we're introduced to a new setting that has used the plot of the prior time travel season to easily change things, such as the ninja designs and the addition of a royal family, with a royal temple placed center in the city. Up until episode 6, the story rolls along fantastically, by having the ninja become personal protectors to the royal family, to protect them from the street gang calling themselves the Sons of Garmadon. This gang has a mysterious leader called the Quiet One, and are focused on obtaining all 3 Oni masks for the fact that it can be used to bring back someone from the departed realm into the Temple of Resurrection. The ninja and Lloyd grow closer to the Jade Princess Harumi after her parents are killed in an explosion, and during this time, Harumi gets more and more suspicious with every episode until her identity as the Quiet One is revealed in episode 7. Harumi reveals that her ultimate plan is to bring back purely the dark side of Garmadon, the Lord, the Venom, the Destroyer. Why? Because as a kid, Harumi's real parents were killed by the Great Devourer attack, and when she learned that Garmadon was the true savior and not the prophesized Green Ninja, she grew resentful of him and instead idolized the Lord. This is a questionable choice for her motivation, given Lloyd was around 10 at the time. I understand the reason that pain and trauma can twist the views of a person like Harumi so much that she can validate her horrible thoughts and bad feelings through Garmadon's evil past, and refuse to even see the good that was in him even then, and especially the love he held for his son, but wanting to take that part of him and remove his love for Lloyd to validate her revenge and then have Garmadon rule as an emperor is quite odd. It could have been more reasonable without the ruling part. Harumi's ritual with all of the Oni masks that her gang have acquired is apparently foiled by the ninja, and Harumi is arrested and put behind bars in Kryptarium. However, at the last moment of the episode, we're shown that the ritual did manage to succeed, as Garmadon's hand shoots out of the rubble. Apparently, Harumi got her wish, and somehow managed to bring back something that never even existed in the first place. But where's the skin of Garmadon? Even during his darkest moments, he never stopped loving his son. Yet you're telling me it's possible to bring back Garmadon when it's not him? Now, okay, I'll admit it's a good plot. I agree. If it had been done correctly, it should not be possible to bring back one thing about a person. However, forcing that evil to the surface and pushing the person inside back into the depths of his own mind, forced to watch what happens as the husk with his name and body commits atrocities under the control of Harumi. How this husk hurts his students, his wife, his brother, and worst of all, his son. Yet the true Garmadon is unable to take control of his own body. This would have been a good plot. During the fight in Kryptarium between the Husk and Lloyd, it would have been a perfect moment to have Garmadon gain enough emotion and power to overthrow the steering and gain control before the absolutely horrendous line that is, "I have no son." Have him beg his son to run while he's still in control. Yet Lloyd refuses and vows to save his father, even as the Husk regains control and nearly kills him. Lloyd mutters his promise before he loses consciousness. Yet instead, the show fully commits to this Garmadon that isn't Garmadon. And not once throughout its 3-season story run does Garmadon regain his true self. Instead, they choose to destroy all that was his character what made him interesting as a villain, demolished the meaning behind his sacrifice, and worst of all, ruined the relationship between him and Lloyd. They write Lloyd as choosing to see this as the true version of his father, and instead of always having held hope for his father and looked up to him, this new Lloyd fears and hates his husk father. It's horrendous. Garmadon, who used to be a character praised for his writing, is reduced to a mere plot point. To make matters worse, they immediately push him aside out of the narrative when he no longer serves his use of being the heartless villain. It takes 5 seasons until they decide to bring him back to act as the plot point once again, and use him as an even weirder caricature of his original writing in the widely disliked season Crystallized. But, well, that's another topic for another day. I understand a majority of the fandom doesn't think a lot about how well this season impacted one character when the rest are done so exceptionally well. But I'm so sorry to say that I can't look past what this season and all the ones that followed did to my absolute favorite character in all of Ninjago. If you disagree, that's completely fine by me, we're all different. I thank you for sticking with me until the end of this video. Please like the video and leave a comment if you like. They're very fun to read and it makes me feel very encouraged as a creator. Yuki spinning out. Bye!